Hey race fans, Alex Weaver here. We're going to be joined by our championship-winning crew chief Cole Pearn to break down Indianapolis and get ready for not only the Xfinity Series on the road course, but also the Cup Series taking to the track on Sunday. So Cole, welcome in. Are you excited about Indy?
Oh, I think it's going to be awesome. So much has been talked about having a doubleheader between the two series, and then to actually see it happen at such a cool place like Indy it's super exciting.
So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and not say the R word because the weather looks really nice right now. So hopefully Mother Nature will be nice to us.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. Definitely true July weather in Indy for sure. I think above 90 every day. So it'll be slick, which I think will be great. Definitely will make an interesting challenge.
So before we break down the racing action, however, I do want to talk to you about some news that was announced over this week, was that there's going to be a choose rule now for the All-Star race at Bristol. It's not a cone, but it's going to be some form of whether or not they can choose the inside or the outside. So how do you feel about the new choose rule?
Hallelujah. Finally. I think it's sweet. Credit to NASCAR for, adapting. I think as things change, you gotta change with the times, and that's what they're doing here. And it's a perfect opportunity in the All-Star race, and Bristol's a perfect place to have it. It's one of those tracks where it really matters to be able to choose which side you want to restart on. So some places won't matter as much. I think the restart lines can be equal, but Bristol is definitely one of the ones where you want to have a chance. And the All-Star race is a perfect opportunity to give it a try.
Well, fans are excited about that. I know that's coming up in the middle of the month, in the middle of July. We're racing July 15th in the All-Star race at Bristol. But now let's crack into things at Indianapolis because it's going to be a loaded weekend of racing. We've had a lot of racing in the month of June, and now we're kicking off July with a lot of racing. So let's start with Xfinity because they're going to be racing on the road course there. So pitting's going to be different. We're doing some left and right turns. How big of a challenge is this for guys who have never raced on Indianapolis road course before?
Oh, it's a huge challenge. I think probably everybody's been using the simulator a lot, trying to get experience and just trying to get all your ratios correct for transmission ratios and the gearing and nailing all that down, and then have it be changing the whole time. They're gonna go in and practice on a green track, and then you're gonna have IndyCar rubber mixed in by the time they actually go back to race. So that huge wild card is wild. I'm just happy to sit back and watch and I think everyone will learn a lot coming out of this weekend, but I think it'll be exciting.
We know that you guys with the 78 and now with MTJ and the 19 is so good at road courses. How different is pitting when you have to pit? It's backwards.
Yeah, I think it was a lot different before. I mean, we had some guys would do the right side first, some guys would do the left side, and then NASCAR kind of fixed that from the safety aspect. But definitely for those pit crews to have to, do it backwards essentially. And then a lot of those guys that pit the Xfinity cars also pit the Cup cars. So not only that, they're going into the weekend, they're going to do one way down pit road on Saturday and then have to go do the other way on Sundays. So definitely they'll experience a huge wild card and change through the weekend.
So that'll be on Saturday. Then we have the NASCAR Cup Series taking to the track on Sunday. It is Roger Penske land. He owns the place, so I imagine that Penske is going to be strong and show up there at their boss's home track. But also JGR with Joe Gibbs Racing, they dominate at Indy and tend to lead the pack there. So who are you keeping your eye on?
I think the usual suspects right now, you got to look back to Pocono, who's good there. I'd expect the 4 to be really strong. Harvick's super good at Indy. They won last year. I think that's where I'd place my first bet. And then, 11 team's been rolling. So I think, and their strength at Pocono, Denny's pretty good at Indy as well. So, you got to give it to those guys. And yeah, for sure, the Penske guys have been solid. I mean, they both, randomly showed speed through the Pocono weekend. So yeah, I think they'll be in the mix for sure.
Okay, so you celebrated a holiday. We're getting ready to celebrate a holiday. It was Canada Day. How did you celebrate? And I know you're going to be biased and tell me that Canada Day is better than July 4th.
I'll say pancake breakfast and maple syrup is better in Canada, but fireworks hands down. I mean, America is fireworks central. There's nothing like it in the U.S. That's for sure.
You also said that it was cold and rainy on Canada Day. We're going to have 93-degree heat on Saturday.
Yeah, normally July 4th, I think Daytona, I think hot, and I think loading a wrecked race car in the trailer when fireworks are going off and you can't hear yourself think and you're yelling at each other. So it was a lot calmer. This will be a way calmer 4th of July than what I've been used to.
Yeah, well, now no heat in Daytona, just heat in Indy. So a lot of racing action coming up this weekend at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Make sure you tune in to all of it. It'll be on NBC Saturday, the road course for the Xfinity Series, and then Sunday, the NASCAR Cup Series will take to the track. Cole, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you back here after Indy.
Thanks, Alex. Happy 4th of July.